Welcome, everybody, to the Crawford County, Illinois Ghost Hunter Society live talk show, episode number 22. We've got a lot to talk about tonight, guys, so hang in there. It's going to be a pretty good one. You might want to get some popcorn for this one because we are going to talk about some stuff, guys. But anyway, welcome to the show tonight. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in out there on a Sunday night. We usually do our show on Monday. We went back to Sunday night tonight due to tomorrow night we're going to be on a podcast in Effingham, Illinois. And I've got to get a hold of that guy to find out how you guys can watch that, or if you can watch that live. If not, they're going to put that up later and you'll be able to see that. But we're going to be on a paranormal podcast over there that the Effing Brew Company in Effingham, Illinois is now doing. They've invited us to be in-studio guests at the podcast tomorrow night. So we're going to be over there about this time tomorrow night doing a show that you guys can possibly watch. But thanks again for tuning in. You can check out our website at crawfordcountyghosthunters.org. And if you want to send us an email regarding anything, you can email us at illinoishauntings@gmail.com. Just send us an email if you have any questions regarding anything paranormal. If you would like us to come investigate your business, your home, or any other place, location you might think is haunted or have some type of paranormal activity or phenomena going on there, we will, investigate. If we think the claims are real and we think it's legitimate, we'll come out there and see, what you've got going on and try to help you. You can send us an email or you can send us a message on the Facebook page, as always, and let us know, what you've got going on. You're probably watching on Facebook tonight, Facebook.com/Crawford County Ghost Hunters. We are also dual streaming to YouTube, which is YouTube.com/Crawford County Ghost Hunters, or YouTube at Crawford County Ghost Hunters. If you go on there, if you're watching from there tonight, switch over to Facebook if you want us to answer any questions live tonight. We'll try to do that as best as possible if you do have any questions. So please switch over to our Facebook page if you're watching from there. But tonight's music, as always, by the Midnight Syndicate. All rights reserved, used with permission. You can check out their website at midnightsyndicate.com. If you like creepy music, check it out, guys. They're also on Spotify. So we're going to talk about our investigations recently and a haunted overnight that we attended, which I'm sure a lot of you are viewing in to hear about that. So stay tuned. The crazy thing is we did find some evidence we're going to talk about here later. But just to update you guys what we were doing this weekend. On Friday, October the 23rd, we did a private tour with some individuals, took them around to local locations, went to some areas in the Crawford County area. We visited Baker Cemetery, of course, with Elizabeth Betsy Reed, and picked up, some pretty interesting stuff there. We also went to another cemetery in the area and got some really cool EVP and ITC interaction with what we believe to be a Revolutionary War soldier that was buried in the area. And he actually was, giving us information and talking about the war, which was pretty cool. That was on our haunted tour or private tour we done on Friday night. But what we're going to talk about tonight, too, is our Saturday night event that we helped, helped out with. We were the team there. She wanted us to come in, and help with the investigation part of it. We set up our camera system, and we're talking about the Mcpike Mansion Ghostly Campout 2020. And that was a pretty neat event. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's the first one we've been to, and it's their 22nd. It was their 22nd annual camp out at the mansion. They usually have it around Halloween night. And it was a pretty neat event to see everybody, see everybody there. A lot of people. There were tents all over the Mcpike Mansion lawn, which was pretty neat. If you guys haven't seen our video where I was filming in the daylight, kind of showing you guys what was going on, definitely go back and check that out. Really cool event. Like I say, she's been doing it for 22 years, and Sharon told me that this may be her last one. So we were kind of honored to be there at the Mcpike Mansion Haunted Overnight camp out. With that being said, we got there, we set up our equipment, we set up a couple cameras inside the house in the locations we could go into the house because you're not, allowed in the house anymore. So we did set up some cameras so we could film inside the house so everybody could see it. We also put like 3 cameras in the cellar area. And we're going to get to that here after a while when we start talking about the evidence, because we did actually record some cool stuff. And I'm going to tell you about that. But tonight's topic, since we're talking about some of the events that happened at Mcpike Mansion at this ghostly haunted overnight event, we're going to talk about some fakery, some hoaxing, and we're going to talk about some of the methods used by other paranormal researchers that have been debunked and, are just not good methods to use for paranormal research and to mislead people. So we're also going to talk about photography and some of the things I've seen at this camp out regarding photography and what they claim to be paranormal activity at the mansion. Now, just to start out with, before we get into this and what our conclusions were about this camp out, some of the things that took place there, I just want to put out a little statement. There's no offense to Sharon whatsoever when I talk about some of the stuff that we're about to debunk and talk about. But she's been doing this a long time, and I'm sure she has been exposed to so many frauds over the years and people coming in that has claim to be real, and I'm not sure they know what's real anymore. I'm not sure if they know, some of the things they were doing was just completely off the wall. But anyway, no disrespect at all towards Sharon. She's a really nice lady, and I don't hold her responsible for any of this. But we went into the place not knowing what to expect. We're there kind of as a host team to set up our equipment. And I thought, my understanding of it, we were going to investigate the location all night long. I didn't know, which that's fine. We quit at like 2:30, but we thought we were going to go till 6 a.m. and actually investigate. But no, they actually shut it down at like 2:30 and everybody goes to bed. We had to get out of the cellar at 2:30, which is fine. It's her place. That didn't bother us at all. The problem came when we attended one of what they call their cellar sessions down in the cellar area of Mcpike Mansion. Now, we went down there. We asked if we could film live down there. We didn't know what was going on. We were just going to film the event to show you guys what takes place there. Again, these were not our ideas or viewpoints on anything paranormal that took place down there in that cellar area in the basement of Mcpike Mansion, if you guys watch that video. And that's the second time we went live. The first time we went live, I was showing the tents, just walking around the mansion, kind of showing you guys what was going on. Second time is what we're talking about, when it starts out down in the cellar, and there's a lady down there with dowsing rods, which that was pretty interesting. I'm open to all ideas and possibilities. She was giving kind of a dowsing 101 thing. That was neat, and she was showing people how to douse and telling people that ghosts were in the room. I was like, okay, that's her opinion. And she was supposedly calling out and finding these ghosts with dowsing rods. So I'm not a big fan of dowsing rods. Like I say, that's their way of doing things. Everybody's got their own way of doing things in the world of paranormal research. And I think that's why, we can point out some of this stuff to you guys, because we take such a strict and scientific approach to researching the paranormal. We like to expose the frauds. We like to expose the fakery. We like to expose the things that just aren't scientific and don't have any proof behind them, like psychics, like dowsing rods, you can't provide evidence with those type of things. But anyway, they're using the dowsing rods. That's fine. It's their event. And then after that, they told everybody to get quiet in there and they shut the lights out. Well, they make a phone call to this lady, and this is where it just goes completely crazy. No offense again to these people, just I've got to call stuff out, the way I see it. To me, it was misleading people big time. It was misleading the guests that were there. It was misleading the people. that were at this event, and I think it was like just kind of a low blow to the people that paid money to come to this event. And they're sitting there in the dark, and the psychic calls over the phone. You guys got to go watch our video. I debated taking it down because it's so bad, but I also want to show you the video because it's so bad. So it is still up on our page. It's the second video, and I put a note, go to, I don't know, so many minutes if you guys want to see our opinions on what happened. And, because after we left, I was kind of like, oh my God, what just happened? But anyway, the psychic calls on the phone. She's telling people there's ghosts in the room. She's telling them over the phone. The room's dark. She's saying there's a ghost over there in the room. Of course, everybody in the Mcpike family showed up. I mean, Henry was there, all of his relatives and all their grandkids and their dogs and cats, and just about everybody you can imagine showed up at the Mcpike Mansion, the psychic said. So, I mean, it was really misleading, I think, to the public, and I think, like, no disrespect towards Sharon and the Mcpike Mansion, but if that's the way they run things, we probably won't be back to one of their events to help. We take a strict scientific approach to paranormal research, and we will not be involved with fakery, hoaxing of any type. And I truly believe that what was going on at Mcpike Mansion was just that. When they were in the cellar area and called with a cell phone, and she was telling people there was ghosts sitting all around, it was literally people like Dickerson compared it to we were at an AA meeting, because it was literally like they were leading sheep. It was just a pack of sheep agreeing to what they were saying. Like she was like, everybody say hi, Henry, and everybody's like, hi, Henry. Everybody say hi, Mary, and everybody's like, hi, Mary, and it just echoed across the room. And it's like, we tried our best to keep our calm and composure and not laugh at this. I mean, it's like, I don't know what these people believe anymore, but like, I want to see proof of stuff going on. Instead of somebody calling from long distance over a telephone, think they're Miss Cleo, and tell me that there's some kind of ghost beside somebody. And the funny thing was, these people were seeing, it was complete darkness in there. And all of a sudden these people begin seeing this stuff that they were suggested was there. And that blows my mind too, because the power of suggestion is so crazy. And you got to be careful with that, people. You can't let people say, oh, there's something going on. I mean, examine it yourself, debunk it yourself, use your logic, use your mind. The best paranormal piece of research equipment, the best piece of equipment in the world is right here. I mean, it's right between your eye, your eyes. Your brain is your best piece of equipment you could ever have. So, it boggles my mind that these people are led to believe some of the things that they do. So you got to be extremely careful with hoaxing in the paranormal field, and just the power of suggestion of people saying this is going on when, there was absolutely nothing going on in that cellar that lady said was going on. I guarantee you. If there was, we would have had ghosts everywhere. They were having a picnic in there. Their dogs and cats were running around. I mean, it wasn't happening, guys. I promise you. And the sad thing about this whole ordeal is the place is haunted. That's why I don't understand why they want to degrade themselves like this and do that there at the Mcpike Mansion, because, like, the location is actually haunted. We found evidence, and we're going to talk about the evidence during our midnight hour session that we cannot explain. We did do our session at midnight, where we took our approach, and we actually collected evidence that we can back up, and show the public. We recorded several EVPs. One of them said the wall. And we had several groups down there, several people down there that heard our EVPs come across there. And we also experienced a weird thing that I'm going to play for you guys. And we have no explanation. We try to debunk it. We debunked a lot of things over the night. Let me tell you that too. We debunked several things that came into our camera inside the house. One of them was actually caused by a micro piece of, like, little thin, almost looked like a hair or thread, floated onto our camera lens at one point, and the wind was blowing it. We couldn't see it with the naked eye when I went in there, but when I finally shined a really bright flashlight in front of the lens, because every once in a while we'd see this white thing go in front of the camera. And every time the wind would blow through the door of Mcpike Mansion, it was blowing this little piece of thread on the front of our camera that was causing a white-like anomaly to come across the screen. And we couldn't figure out what it was for the longest time. So I went in there and finally found that little piece of fiber, and pulled it off the lens, and boom, no more ghost. So, we like to debunk everything and take a scientific and logical approach. If we tell you something is haunted, or we tell you something's going on, we don't know what's going on. We can't find an explanation for it. So, we look at all this stuff, guys. But another thing that I have my doubts about regarding Mcpike Mansion is this crypt in the backyard. This is, again, on our first investigation there, I debunked that, and I said that is not a crypt. This time I looked at it, it is not a crypt. I do not believe that that's a burial spot for somebody where they're taking people and they're saying it's a crypt. I just don't believe it. Again, I want to see evidence that someone's buried there. Bring GPR out there like we did with Betsy Reed. Show me ground penetrating radar that there's a grave there. Then I'll believe it. But I don't think it's there. Just a lot of stuff going on. Again, no disrespect toward the Mcpike Mansion or Sharon. I like Sharon. This is just the way we are. This is the way we investigate. This is the way we approach paranormal research, and we'll do it with any place, not just the Mcpike Mansion. We debunked Willow's Weep in 10 minutes. Dave Spinks got all pissed off at us and didn't want us back in there, told us not even to release the information, that all the stuff that we found and debunked. We proved with science that was not blood on the chair at Willow's Weep. We totally debunked Willow's Weep, and it is not the evil, most haunted house in the world. We went there, and people don't, they don't like us coming into their place because, like, we'll tell them the truth. We're going to expose the people out there that are just trying to put money in their pocket off of paranormal research in these places that aren't actually haunted. I'm okay with giving money to people to help restore some of these places, and I'm okay with doing, events like that to help restore old historic locations, but don't lie to people in the process. You got to remain truthful and not lie to, the public when you're trying to put on these events. So, but anyway, with that being said, we've debunked a lot of locations. Even like I have questions about the Ashmore Estates we were just at. Robin Terry, he's a real nice guy. I'm not saying he's misleading people, but when I walked into that building and there's speakers wired all over the ceilings, and he's telling me there's no Wi-Fi in the building, and we are picking up an active Wi-Fi signal in the building. Yet I messaged him on the phone and I said, because we were going to use the Wi-Fi to go live. I said, can we use the Wi-Fi we're picking up to go live with? And he denied having Wi-Fi in the building. There was a Wi-Fi in the building. We picked it up. And there's speakers all over the Ashmore Estates. And there's a room you can't go in labeled staff. What goes on over these speakers, I don't know. But, it's things like that we look for when we go into these places, especially the locations that want to take your money. They want to go in, they claim to be haunted, and then they're not, or they're more hyped up than what people say. So, just be careful with some of these places, guys. And when you go out for, your Halloween stuff and you want to find a cool place to investigate, or you're a team out there watching and you want to investigate this cool place that's been on Ghost Adventures or Ghost Hunters, which fake everything. They've been kicked out. I don't know how many locations I've went to where they said those guys aren't allowed back into their place because they lied about everything, including the Mcpike Mansion. Sharon told me Ghost Adventures lied about 90% of the stuff that took place on the episode of Mcpike Mansion for Ghost Adventures. I was out at the Stanley Hotel in Colorado. They told me the same thing. I was out at the Mansfield Reformatory in Ohio. They told me the same thing. Just everywhere we go, they lied about stuff and exaggerated. So be careful what you guys watch on TV too. Don't believe everything you see when it comes to ghost hunting and paranormal research. But we like to give you stuff that we have evidence for. And I'm going to play you guys something. And that's why I said the sad thing about Mcpike is both times that we've been there, we found things that we couldn't explain. So it needs no hyping up. It needs no psychic. I'll be nice, but psychic sideshow, we'll call it. You don't need to hype a place up like that or mislead people into something for activity to take place. Legitimate paranormal activity does take place at some of these locations. It just, that's why I don't understand it. I don't understand why they think they got to do this stuff. But anyway, at Mcpike Mansion, we were in there for our midnight session. We had a whole group of people in there with us, and everybody witnessed this. It wasn't just us. And we proved it to be unexplainable. I mean, we have proved this event to be unexplainable. And if you guys didn't watch our live feed let me look here, 1 hour and 37 minutes into our live feed, our midnight live feed at Mcpike Mansion in the cellar, we heard a guy or I assume it's a guy, something knocking on the big steel doors of the cellar. And these doors were shut. We shut the doors behind us. These things are heavy. I mean, this is like an old wine cellar, and there's big iron doors. And we shut the doors behind us. And we had a group of people in there. And one of the guys sitting down on the end, I believe his name is Jake Greentree. It's Kelsey's husband. They go on a lot of our events and stuff. They were sitting down close to the door where the knock took place. All of a sudden, we heard a boom, boom, boom. I mean, just this huge, hollow-like pounding knock on the door. And we just thought it was somebody wanting in, It was like, and I said, go ahead and let them in. I said, tell them to come in. And he goes around the corner. Speaking of Jake there, he was on the corner of the chair there by the door. And he opened it up and nobody was there. And he came back in, the look on his face, he's like, nobody's there. So we run out, we go hauling out. And I believe Amanda was filming our live at that time. It was me, Amanda, and Dickerson in there routing. And we go around, nobody's there. We run out the door, nobody's there. And I was like, okay, somebody faked this. Because like my first idea is, okay, somebody snuck in. They hired somebody to come in, pound on this door. I was kind of mad, to tell you the truth, because I thought, this was more fakery. But I do this on purpose, guys. When we investigate a location, a lot of times I'll set a video camera up watching the door, especially on events like this, just so I can see if anybody sneaks up on us. So I set a video camera. One of our IR cameras was facing the doorway coming into the cellar area. And that is the only way in and out of that cellar there at Mcpike Mansion that I know about. I mean, I went all over that little cellar area and basement, unless there's some secret trap door I don't know about. That is the only door in and out of that location. Well, I set a camera up filming that, so I would catch people coming in and out of that door. So, I could see if anything like that happened. And we went back on the camera system, and we're going to post all this as an evidence video. I'm actually going to post it as a video on our page here eventually when I get time, because there was 2 people in the room rolling audio. We were rolling audio on our live feed and caught it. And a guy was rolling audio on a cell phone recorder and caught it. And another female was rolling on a digital recorder and caught it. So we got 3 different pieces of audio, and I'm trying to get those audio files sent to me so I can put together an evidence video for you guys so we can post it up. Because, again, I can tell you this, but I want to show you this, and show you that we have proof that this was paranormal or unexplainable. Let's just put it that way. We cannot explain these 3 knocks we heard, because we went back out and reviewed the camera system after, and we went clear back to when we walked into the cellar. You can see us walking into the cellar, and we watched it from that point on. We go into the cellar, we start like a Phasma box session, the knock happens, we run out. We watched the whole thing previous to that and after that. The only people going into that cellar were the people that went in, stayed in the cellar in our group. Nobody else came in through the door at the time the knock took place, and we have that on video. We have video proof of no one coming through the door of the cellar when these 3 knocks took place. So that is an unexplainable event to us. Another unexplainable event took place when me and Dickerson were in the house on the first investigation we done there. A door open and closed. We caught a weird light, and on the ghost box it said I got killed at the same time. We got 3 pieces of evidence indicating something paranormal took place that we couldn't explain. We looked for drafts that night. Thought, we tried to get the door to open and close. We thought maybe the wind can do weird things by circulating in through windows and causing suction and drafts and slamming doors, but we couldn't duplicate that night either. But the 3 knocks in the cellar area, we have no explanation for that. So definitely something strange. That's why I'm saying, Mcpike Mansion is definitely probably haunted. It's just like, I don't know, some of the stuff that goes on there regarding the events is kind of hoaxy. But I'm gonna play this real quick for you guys. If you didn't get to hear it on our live feed or haven't watched our video yet, I'm going to play the audio from our live feed. This is right from our live feed right now because I haven't had time to put together all the audio clips and make a video for you guys and show. We're going to show our video surveillance system too. In the evidence video, we put out that there is no one coming in the door at the time this takes place, and it absolutely proves it to be unexplainable. So here we go, guys. This is what we experienced at Mcpike Mansion on our midnight session on the 24th into the 25th. Here we go. All right, guys, we're going to start a Phasma box session. See if we can pick anything up. Like I say, feel free to ask whatever you want.
Do you want me to kill the lights? Or?
Let's try it with them on first, then we'll kill them.
Okay.
We'll try it both ways. This will not have to be quiet kind of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, you guys can just talk and ask questions.
So you do a lot of conspiracy not training you guys.
Sometimes, yeah. No!
Eventually, come in.
What spirit is
Come
that?
in.
Nobody out there.
If there's nobody out there, that would be awesome. Yeah.
Ask him if they see anyone on the camera.
Knock on the door
Are you
again.
serious?
Somebody there.
Are you serious? There's nobody out there?
Are you joking?
No, there's nobody out there.
Wow. That was loud.
No, get the camera. Hey, bring the camera.
I'm coming.
That was so weird.
No,
Oh my God.
You got the kid.
I got somebody
No
just
way.
Nobody.
Guys, we just heard 3 knocks on that door and nobody's here. Let's see if anybody ran out.
This door's still how it was when I walked out.
All right, guys, that is some of the audio. I hope you guys could hear that out there. I'm going to switch back to where I can read your messages now, but that's some of the audio from our live feed on the Mcpike Mansion ghostly campout that we captured, on our midnight session in the cellar area. So we, again, have no explanation for what caused that. That's what I'm saying. I truly believe the place is haunted because we had a camera system set up on the door and nobody came through the door. You can see us all go into the cellar. We watched it. No one else enters the cellar. No one was in there. And there was 3 knocks at that door that we cannot explain. I had no explanation for it at this time. If we do come up with an explanation for it, we will definitely let you guys know. But we're going to put out, again, an evidence video regarding that and show our camera system so you guys can see the time on there and that it corresponds with, our live video, and that you see us go in to do that. You'll watch us run out with the camera. I mean, you'll be able to tell everything with the video we put up because our surveillance system was watching the doorway. It's just pretty weird. Trying to get to where I can check your guys' messages here. Having a problem doing that right now, so I can't respond to anybody if you're saying anything. So hold on just a second. I'll try to fix that issue. Okay, I think I got it now. Okay, yeah, I don't know what's going on the live here. It says, Stacy Miller says, I don't know, but they were bragging about it. I don't know what they're talking about. I'm lost in this conversation on the live feed, guys. So, but yeah, we have no idea what caused it. Kelsey, Green Tree was there, and all of them. Just relying on what they told me this morning. Have no idea. Oh, Stacy's saying something about something that happened that night, but I have to get with her after the show. Hey, Stacy, what are you saying happened? I'm just now checking all the comments in the live feeds, and now I can see what you guys are saying. Sorry, I wasn't tuned in a minute ago because I was going to play that video, so I had it tuned to where I wanted to put it. I know some of the volunteers were upset about them being there. Maybe they're trying to discredit real good evidence that happened and was caught. Gives the comments. Supposedly workers knocked on there. They said the workers made the knock. Nah, there was no workers made any knock. I don't know what they're talking about there, guys. But we have the surveillance system up there. No workers there anyway knocking. Because we went back and looked at the camera system and nobody comes into the cellar. We got video proof of no one coming into the cellar. What's the second noise? Toward the end of the live, trying to read. They were openly admitting to knocking on the door. Stacy, can you give me the name of whoever was openly admitting to knocking on the door? Because we can debunk it, that's fine, but I don't. They must be invisible because they didn't come. They didn't come through the door. If they openly knocked, they came through some entrance that is not known to me. Because I had the entrance video. I had video on the entrance of the cellar, and no one came through the door. So if can you tell the name of who that was? The owner said it. Are you talking about Sharon? I'm not sure who this Stacy Miller is, but yeah, Luke, it pretty much was. That's the good words for it there. We even tried to recreate the knock and couldn't make the knock sound like it did. Oh, that's a very good point. Yeah, Sammy says that we did do that too. After the knock took place, we did try to recreate it. We tried to debunk it. We tried to. I had Jake go out there, and he actually knocked on the door. And it sounds like a human hand. You could hear bone hitting metal. We had another person try it. It sounds like bone hitting metal. He tried different tones, different parts, to make that sound. We tried to get it to duplicate the sound we heard. And the sound we heard was like a deep, like boom, 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 almost like somebody hitting it with a rubber mallet. But yeah, I don't know if we can debunk it, though. I definitely will. I mean, I don't know how anybody got past our video camera system. They had to have some type of a gift of invisibility because we watched the video from the time that we went in there to the time that we left, and no one entered that door. So, just relaying what the workers were bragging about this morning, she said that that's what they got for talking crap. Okay. Yeah, I don't know about that. They're just pissed off because we caught something paranormal, and it's probably what it amounts to. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I'm glad you told me that, Stacy, because I'll actually give Sharon a call tomorrow and see who claims to have knocked on the door and how they got past our camera system. So I think what's going on here is that people at Mcpike Mansion got pissed off because a real team came in there and found some evidence when they can't find evidence with their dowsing rods and their psychic show. So, I could say the mansion isn't haunted, but there's two unexplainable events that have taken place there where I truly believe the mansion's haunted. I could debunk the mansion altogether if those didn't happen, but I can't because I think something legitimate's there. I'm not bashing the mansion and the fact that, that it doesn't, live up to the reputation of being haunted. But yeah, I'd like to know. I'm reading the comments here, guys. They're saying the workers, I think basically this morning, were claiming that one of them snuck in and banged on the door because we were debunking their psychic act. And even if they did, that's more fakery. So, if it somehow they got past our camera system, somehow they've got an entrance into the house that's not the main entrance into the cellar, then there's more hoaxing and fakery. So that's even more stuff to say, hey, they're faking stuff here at Mcpike Mansion. So, I hope they did. I hope they did sneak in and knock on the door, and we can prove that it wasn't, paranormal, because then we can prove even more that they're hoaxing people even more with this stuff. So, but I don't think so. I set my camera system up to monitor the only entrance into that cellar, and we watched it. My whole team watched it, and nobody came through the door. So I don't know if they're mad because we actually caught something real, or like they're saying, maybe they snuck in and faked it on us. Maybe they did somehow get in past our camera system. I don't know how. If there's another door in there, but that's interesting. I looked at all the doorways in the cellar linked together to one entrance. That's exactly right, Jake. So Jake was there. Jake Greentree. He's admitting, he's saying all the doors linked to that one entrance. Also, there's no way in or out of there except the one I was videotaping or video recording. So, if the workers are saying they snuck in and knocked on our door, then for one, like I say, that's complete bull that they done that. And two, they can't get past my camera system. They're not invisible. Says Sharon, should know you and your team better than that. You're not buying what they're selling. That's exactly right. But yeah, that's our opinions on, Mcpike Mansion, guys. We think we caught something unexplainable. Whether or not Mcpike Mansion snuck past my camera system, somebody worker and knocked on the door to hoax it, I don't know. They're claiming now this lady's saying that they were laughing about it, saying that they done it. So just more crap at the mansions, all that amounts to if they did. But I don't know how they did it. And I'm going to find out. We're going to continue to investigate this, guys, because if I can debunk it as being paranormal, I definitely will. I mean, I'd rather say that, a worker did sneak in there somehow and knock on the door versus, it being unexplainable. But Brandon says, well, what's true, and that's all that matters. Well, yeah, I guess so. But anyway, guys, moving off of the Mcpike Mansion event. Unfortunately, like I say, a lot of bad stuff going on there, but hey, it is what it is. And we believe we had caught something paranormal regardless of what they claim or whatever. But I'm going to talk about some other things tonight. And this actually I seen out at the Mcpike Mansion too. And this is no disrespect for the people that were doing it either. But a lot of people do this method, I've realized nowadays. I've seen this on ghost hunters way back in the day. Another method that can be debunked regarding, some techniques and paranormal research techniques used is called the flashlight method. And they called me out into the woods near the supposed crypt, which is also fake, in the woods there at Mcpike Mansion. And some people had some meters set up, and, they're just dabbling in paranormal research. They didn't know any better. So they asked me my honest opinion. They were using a flashlight, trying to get the flashlight method to work, where the light comes on and off when you ask a ghost or spirit, is anybody here? And the light comes on. So I went out there, and it's that method's been debunked a long time ago. So I wanted to get that out there. I mean, basically when you turn a light on, you're turning that light on to like the point to where it is barely coming on. They use mag lights with the head, and what it's doing is it's short circuiting. It's short circuiting the light. You're turning it on to the point to where it barely comes on, and then it'll blink on and off. You ask a question, the light will blink on and off. It'll turn off, do weird things because you're short circuiting that light. It's not really a scientific method for paranormal research. It's just kind of a little entertainment trick that ghost hunters came up with and put on the TV show back years ago. But that's what's going on with that, guys. If you ever out there doing the flashlight method, don't believe it. It's been debunked several times. I said that it tricks the light into not knowing whether it's coming on or off or not. So, it's randomness a lot of times. It'll blink, it'll flicker. When you ask a question, it'll come on, the light doesn't know what to do. So, did you turn that head to the point to where it's in between on and off, basically, and it's real sensitive to any type of vibration or anything like that, and the light will flicker. So anyway, that's what's going on. With that too, so I'm trying to read the comments to you guys. It says, ha ha ha, I remember talking to you about this when people left the room that one night, and you were like, oh my God, that wasn't the person doing it right. Yeah, Luke was talking about that one night. Hey, Greg, nice to see Greg on the show tonight. Could they have piped in somehow? I may see if, I don't know if Greg's talking about Sharon and the people from Mcpike Mansion or what, but I may have Sharon on the show and see if she'll come back on the show next episode and talk about, what happened and get her opinions on it so she can defend herself, but not really going after her. I'm just saying there's a lot of fakery going on. But if she'll come on here, I'll definitely have her on the show so she can talk to you guys about it. But looks like Jody York's on here. Let's see who else. But anyway, guys, this weekend, I want to tell you again, we've got our Pine Lawn Manor haunted overnight paranormal investigation there. And we have, I'll tell you what, again, I know I talk about this place over and over again, but I have still never seen anything like it. We done another private investigation at Pine Lawn Manor on October 23rd. A small group of us went in, myself, John Sweat, I think Riley Miller, Courtney Mendenhall. There was just a very small group of us went in there because I wanted to, again, try to eliminate the possibility of somebody hoaxing or throwing things in there, or, some of the people that were on our haunted tour at Pine Lawn on the last one. October 16th, Pine Lawn Manor tour was the craziest stuff. Like, if you guys haven't, heard about that, I'm sure you have. I've talked about it 100 times, but, we heard noises, knocks, bangs, stuff getting thrown, glass breaking, a wind chime got hit, a chair flipped over. I mean, just some crazy, crazy stuff going on in there that it's just unexplainable. I have no idea. And we went in on the 23rd again here recently, just a small group, like I say, and experienced some of this stuff ourselves again, with just a small group. And like, nobody is doing this stuff, guys. Like, I don't even know. There needs to be like a serious documentary made about this place, because the activity that's going on in there, I've never seen in my life. I've never encountered anything like it. And I would classify it as like a poltergeist-like haunting. And it's like, it's poltergeist is basically, translates as into noisy ghost. That's what a poltergeist is. And this has all the classic poltergeist haunting like symptoms or, signs. It's like, there's banging, there's knocking, there's rapping, there's glass breaking, there's things being thrown. On October 23rd, when we went in there, Riley Miller was walking down one of the hallways, one of my team member, and there was a blue ring. We all see this blue little like plastic ring laying on the floor, and it was down by the entrance of the building. Well, we go and sit in the south wing where it was the sensory room where crazy stuff is going on, and the wind chime got hit. We're sitting in there all quiet, and all of a sudden something comes flying into the room, bounces off the floor. We turn the light on, and it's that blue ring that was down the hallway laying on the floor but close to the entrance. Something literally moved this object from the entrance of the building to the room we were in. And we've got a video previous to that showing that the ring was not on the floor. So it got there somehow again on the floor. I don't understand what's going on in there. It's physically moving things. It's hitting things. Possibility of Amanda's jacket getting cut like a knife, still weird things going on in Pine Lawn, guys. So definitely, I hope you guys that are coming on the 30th and 31st, get ready. Cause I'm sure you'll experience something. I've not been in there yet when some strange has not happened. And on hall 3, we continue to hear a strange phenomena. It's group 3 or hall 3 over there. When we walk into the left, it sounds like a penny being thrown or dropped, or some type of coin. And we can't ever find anything. It sounds like a penny just going down the hallway. And nobody's doing this, guys. I mean, I'm watching people like hardcore to make sure nobody's throwing anything or nobody's got anything in their pockets. Like, I'm even going to do an experiment this next go around where everybody that comes into the building is going to have to show me, empty their pockets, show me what's in their pockets, no coins, nothing like that allowed in the building, and see if these pennies come out of nowhere and you can hear them hit. But we're going to try to do more controlled setting things where, it's absolute proof that nobody is doing this. I mean, there's nobody doing it. I mean, I've tried to debunk it. I've watched people, and the pile of stuff in the corner is getting hit with what sounds like a baseball bat. I mean, it's that loud. It's just bang and it crashes. So, just crazy. Stacy Miller says, what do you make of what we heard over the voice boxes in the midnight session? I believe she's talking about Mcpike Manor again. We got a few intelligent responses, I think, over the ghost box in there. Nothing major at Mcpike the other night. We did get some legitimate EVP activity, though, on our recorder. There's no ghost box, straight out EVP. That's where the voices of the dead are heard on electronic devices or cassette recorders or any type of device that can record audio. You're completely quiet. You play that back and, the voices are heard. Whether they're the voices of the dead or something else, we don't know. Where it's some intelligent communication coming through, but we picked up a voice clearly saying the wall. It was like the wall. And it was starting to talk over me as I asked a question. We got a couple more EVPs in there that I'm going to have to put on the computer, but it's definitely human voice. And no one was talking when we recorded it, even though we did have a large group of people. I mean, we note and listen to that. Dickerson was also on his task cam going live with the headphones on, which he can hear like bionic ears with that thing because it's coming in through there in live, basically a live hearing. You can hear that as it's coming through, and he didn't hear any voices either, so definitely we got some EVP activity in the cellar also. But as far as the ghost boxes and stuff like that, I'm still, it's hard to prove ghost box and ITC communication because it's open to interpretation, what the other person hears. I can hear something, you can hear something else, unless it's just something really clear that we record that everybody agrees upon. So it's called audio pareidolia. So you got to be careful with ghost boxes and any type of spirit box communication. Also, if you're presenting that as evidence. So, but we did pick up some interesting things in there that night. But Sammy Peaches, Jason, maybe they did make the knocks. Maybe that was their way of getting us out of there, since right before that she came down and was trying to rush us along so she could go to bed. Yeah, I mean, like I say, Sammy, I hope she did. I hope some of the staff at Mcpike came down there, snuck down there and knocked on the door, because I would a lot rather say that it was some human doing it than it was paranormal, because that's just where I am. I'd like to debunk it if it was human interaction, but I see no way physically possible this could have been somebody sneaking up on us, because I rigged that door with a camera system and we caught everybody coming in and out of that door. I'm telling you, once you guys see the evidence video we post, you're going to see what I'm talking about. There was nobody that came in and out of that door. You see us go in, see that, nobody there until we come back out, because we're looking to see who knocked. So, I mean, no way. I mean, there's no way they could have got past it. I mean, I don't know. It's mind-boggling to me if they're saying they did it, because they must have some invisibility or some. If they did it, they've got another entrance they're not telling the public about. That could be the case. Maybe there's some door we don't know about getting into the cellar. I can give you the names of the others that heard what she was saying this morning. I don't know how they would have snuck in, though. Yeah, Stacy, I'll message you after the show and we'll talk about that, because I don't know. I want them to show me how they got in. I hope it was them, like I say. But yeah, we'll talk after the show and we'll try to figure out, what was going on there. And I'll definitely keep you guys updated on this situation. If not, have Sharon on the show for this next go around, because Yeah. We'll see what she says too, but just reading your comments here. That knock was loud and they tried to make it sound like it and they couldn't. Yeah, I know. We tried to duplicate it. Like it did not sound the same. It was, you can hear human bone hit that door. I know I'm kind of repeating some info here, but you could hear when we tried to recreate it, how it sounded like, bone or knuckle hitting the door versus what we heard. It was like a big hollow, like boom, boom. I don't know how to describe it. I mean, go back and watch the live video, guys. I mean, at an hour and 37 minutes, make your own decision. Don't base it off what I'm saying here, but go back, watch the live video. An hour and 37 minutes into the video is when the knock takes place. The scream that happened later. See, this is what I'm wondering if they're not confusing something with. There was a scream that took place toward the end of the live feed video, and we debunked that as being somebody. They admitted to it outside. I ran out, and somebody had screamed outside. So the scream that you guys heard from the door I forgot about that. On the live feed video, we debunked that was a human doing that. So again, I don't think they got in for the door, though, is the thing. So maybe they did. But I know a lot of you were asking about that. I just now clicked what you were talking about. But yeah, there was a scream, and that was debunked by us as being a living person. Jason, is it possible that we can hear and or see tomorrow night? Yeah, Jen, I think I'm going to find out and put it on the page tomorrow early afternoon on how you guys can watch and listen to the podcast we're going to be a part of tomorrow night. Unless they film it and put it up later, I'm not sure if it's a live podcast, like to where they broadcast live. I know it's going to be live, us being there in studio, but I'm not sure it's live that night is what I'm saying. So it may be something they repost later, but I'll definitely let you guys know, regarding that on how you can watch that podcast we're going to be on tomorrow night. I'll put it up on the show and send a link if there's, a link to their podcast page or something. It's the effing brewery in Effingham, Illinois that's doing it. We're going to go over there. They're just starting out in this. Those guys are real interested in paranormal research themselves, and they hear a lot of stories in there regarding paranormal events and occurrences that take place in Effingham County, because one of them is a bartender, and who knows what they hear. People coming in telling the stories of being at Casbar Cemetery in Effingham and all these haunted locations out there. So they've got some cool stories, I'm sure, to share. So. Luke says, I believe Wednesday at 2 p.m. for that. I saw them post about it. Okay, so Luke may know more about it than I do. He says possibly 2 p.m. on Wednesday they're going to post that. So we're going to go tomorrow and record it, and maybe they post it Wednesday. I'm not sure, but I'll find out. I'll let you guys know. Shannon says, was it possible that someone stayed in the cellar you didn't know about? I thought about that, Shannon. I thought, did somebody sneak in previous to us getting in there? If that is possible, that they could have snuck in previous to us getting in the cellar and hid in there somewhere. But if they did, they knocked and they hid back in that location and never came out till we left. Because we reviewed the video footage before and after we walked in there. Actually, I don't think it would be possible. Unless there's another door, because we've got a video camera on that door. We were recording all night. So we've got video footage from start to finish, from the time people came there to the time people left. We were the last ones in the cellar. So we were the last ones recording. We were the last people in, out of that cellar. So, we got video footage of all that. I don't think there's any way, unless they snuck in several hours when we weren't paying attention before the event, hid there, and then stayed through us locking and putting because I physically put the padlock on the back door of the cellar when we left last night. So they would have been locked in, and we never seen anybody come out. So, like I say, unless there's some trap door in there that goes up through the mansion we don't know about, I don't think so. But I did think about that. That's a good possibility. That did cross my mind, but I don't think it's possible. They might have been part of the show. Reading your comments now, guys. It looks like Luke has put I assume that's the link to the podcast in there, guys. So maybe you want to check that out. That may be the link to the page of the podcast Luke just shared. Give me a thumbs up, Luke, or yes, if that's what that is. And thank you for doing that, Luke. I appreciate that. All right. Yeah, he says that's the link to the podcast tomorrow, guys. So you can check that out on there, and we will talk about it. But anyway, I was going to talk about some other things real quick before we end the show. Again, regarding, fakery and debunking and some misconceptions in paranormal research. So I want to hit a little bit tonight on kind of an educational topic. We're going to talk a little bit about spirit photography. And, some of the photos people were showing us last night at the mansion, and photos that people have been sending us for years and years. It's not just the mansion. We get these things sent to us all the time like this. A lot of people are taking pictures into windows and reflective surfaces and mirrors, china cabinets, anything with reflective surfaces, we do not count as a paranormal anomaly or any type of paranormal event or anything taking place, because once you photograph a reflective surface, especially if you got the flash on at night, even if you don't have the flash on, the window is reflecting other light sources in the room, other light sources from outside. You got a lot of stuff going on with glass and the way it reflects light back to the camera and everything. And a lot of times when you take those pictures, it's just pareidolia, matrixy, you're getting a form of pareidolia. People want to see images and things in those pictures that aren't there. So, when you're seeing these what looks like a face, or everybody always says, oh, it looks like a skeleton face with two eyes and a nose and a mouth. And 98% of the time, those are debunkable. And we do not count any photographs. We will not accept any photographs taken into any reflective surface, like a window, mirror or anything like that, as being legitimate paranormal evidence, because most of the time it's just imagination. It's people want to see things in that window that's not there. So I don't know how many pictures we got last night of people saying they were getting apparitions in the window of Mcpike Mansion. They were showing it to us, and it's just pareidolia. It's just it's just people wanting to see stuff in it that's not there. And she actually showed a slideshow of Mcpike Mansion where she was presenting some paranormal evidence during a history, presentation at the camp out last night. And I can debunk every picture she put up there as not being paranormal. I didn't see one picture that had anything paranormal in it at all. A lot of it was orbs, dust, which is dust particles. All orbs, guys. And this is something else I want to put out real quick. The Robinson newspaper just done a little article on us and talked about us in the newspaper. And that was all, some of that stuff in there was also their opinions and research too, because they said in there that paranormal investigators believe orbs to be the spirits of the dead, and that those are ghosts and spirits, that balls of light and photographs are ghosts and spirits. No, they aren't ghosts or spirits. They are dust particles. They are pollen in the atmosphere, raindrops, moisture. When you get balls of light on your photographs, what's happening is your flash reflects off of the nearest object and flashes it back. It picks it up as circular spots, and people call them orbs or ghost orbs. And it's not paranormal, guys. It is dust particles. And some people will be like, well, these orbs are different colors, and red means they're angry or whatever. The different colors have to do with what the particle is made of in the atmosphere also, whether it's rain, whether it's dust, whether it's pollen. Pollen a lot of times will show up as yellow or orange spots. Sometimes they show up as purple spots, which is due to the magnesium fluoride coating on some of the camera lenses that they used to put on there. Just depends on the make and model of your camera, what type of coating they put on some of those lenses. Those can actually cause, at close range, collared orbs, rain, moisture, fog, anything in the atmosphere, can show up as these circular balls of light. And like I say, your flash is just reflecting off of that and picking it back up. So, yeah, dang it, Luke. Luke got me off track there. Yeah, they were seeing black balls in this one place, and I don't have any explanation for that. I'm just going to leave that where it's at. But when it comes to black stuff, you guys know my opinion on that too. But it's that's the way they look at things. But could have been a fly going through the air, anything. If they report like a black object going through the air, that could be like a fly or anything. Insects show up on film and camera, and people think they're paranormal anomalies. So just definitely watch out for that too. Yeah, I think a couple people laughed over the black thing, but I better stop. But yeah, insects show up, as, like they're not perfect circles. They'll be irregular. They'll have legs, they'll have wings, and you'll be able to see that. People claim they're fairies and all kinds of stuff. It's like, guys, there's hardly any photographs that that are paranormal. 98% of all photographs are explainable with some sort of natural explanation. That's why I'm bored with spirit photography, because I just look at these pictures and I laugh, because these people have no background. They've never tried to kick up dust. They've never tried to photograph things like that. We literally went out for, months and, years. We've been studying, what things look like on film, on 35 millimeter, on digital, on Polaroid, on video, on IR video. We've been studying this stuff for years, and we will kick up dust. We'll put stuff in front of the camera to see what it looks like, so we know the difference between paranormal anomalies and fake anomalies when we get them on film and video. And camera straps are a big thing. People, they're called vortices, or vortexes when they get them on film. That's basically a camera strap getting in front of your lens. And it looks like little waves and stuff, and people often report those as vortexes. It's just a camera strap. Your finger will get in front of the lens sometimes and cause like a ball-looking thing, like a big, bright, illuminated object. Sometimes if you cover the flash with your hand, the flash will cast a shadow, and part of your photograph will be black or dark. That's also, a common mistake people make. Females, especially on my team, I tell them if they have long hair to please put it back in a ponytail and hold the camera out at arm's length when they're photographing, and get it away from them, so they don't get any dangling hairs in front of the lens. Or that also helps eliminate breath getting in the photograph. When you see that fog a lot of times in photographs too, and they call them ectomist, that's usually either breath or fog or moisture in the atmosphere that you just didn't realize was there. It's smoke from cigarettes. It's people are vaping now. A lot of people vape and get it in there. Last night they had 2 fires going at Mcpike Mansion with smoke, and people got a little foggy stuff in a couple things. It was definitely caused from the smoke coming out of the fire there. And again, just be careful with photographs and learn what stuff looks like, and take pictures, guys. If you want to go out, if you don't believe me that orbs are dust, go kick some dust up and take some pictures, and you will find these little magical balls floating around. So that did not sound good. But take some pictures and see for yourself, that, these things are dust. They're explainable. They're not spirits of the dead. And people ask me a lot of times too, why do they have tails? How come, is that a real orb when it's got a tail behind it? No, a lot of times it's not, because the tails are caused from movement, either movement of the camera when you took the picture or movement of the object, and the camera is stationary. If the dust particle or whatever the particle is flying through the atmosphere has a current behind it, and we've done this multiple times and multiple experiments to make sure that these ones that look like they're moving with tails are actually caused by the shutter speed of the camera and the particles themselves, or the camera moving, and that's what it is. When you get a strong crosswind, especially if you're outside and a dust particle blows through there, you're going to have a tail behind it because it didn't capture that, as quick as it should have. You got slow shutter speeds, has to do with your shutter speed, everything of your camera, how much light's being allowed into your camera. There's a lot of stuff that play factors into photography and capturing paranormal or supposedly so-called paranormal anomalies on film and video. So I just want to get that out there too, because I don't know how many pictures last night we got of people handing us saying, hey, is this ghosts? They're balls of light and it's just orbs. Or, it's just dust particles. So just, when you're taking pictures, guys, be careful. Also, when you're taking pictures of tombstones out in cemeteries, remember those tombstones have reflective surfaces and can also reflect and refract light, back into your camera lens or back into different directions. Tail lights on cars is a common occurrence. People often photograph. They will take a picture and get like a red light in the background, and it's a tail light reflecting. They'll take or they'll see even on night shot video. One of the videos, I debunked this instantly back in the day. Dave and Sharon, I was real good friends with Dave and Sharon from the International Ghost Hunter Society, and unfortunately, they passed away now, and they were really good people, but I didn't agree with some of their ghost hunting techniques and investigation techniques. They went to Gettysburg, and we actually went to the exact place this summer out in Gettysburg where they were at, and they filmed this video of what they claim to be spirit orbs or ghost lights out at Gettysburg moving through this woods and moving through there. And I told Dave back in the day it was car lights. I said, that's a car off in the distance. You guys don't know a road's there, and you're picking up car lights through the trees. He argued with me and said, oh, it's not what it is. It's not what it is. Well, now they've taken out a section of woods or something, because I had a guy that was there. I think it was Randy. And I'm going to try to get him on the show one of these nights because he's cool. I'm going to try. He's going to be on here, I hope. He said he'd be on the show, but he said that row of woods or some of that woods has been taken out now that was originally there when Dave photographed and took that video. Now you can see a road in the background. You can see cars passing right behind that. So it was a road in the background, and there were cars passing through there, causing Dave to think that these were ghost lights in Gettysburg when he was picking up car headlights and taillights off of a distant road that he didn't know was there. I mean, he honestly believed that it was paranormal. And there's a lot of things that I may believe was paranormal that I'll debunk 10 years from now. And that's what's cool about this field. We're always trying to debunk stuff, each other's stuff. And that's what I don't understand too. Like, everybody wants this stuff to be a ghost nowadays. Like, all these places like Mcpike Mansion or Ashmore Estates or Willow's Weep, they all want it to be haunted. They all want it to be a ghost. And when you say it's not a ghost, they get pissed off, because you debunk it and you say that that's not what's going on because they're making money off this thing. And I don't know. I don't understand people's thought process behind this. I mean, I thought we're trying to figure out the truth here and what's actually going on, but that's not what's happening, nowadays. So, but there's a lot of going back to the photography part. Everybody's seen, I don't know how many pictures we've got over the years of reflective surfaces, and it's not ghosts, guys. It's light reflecting, and it's pareidolia. I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but if there's glass involved or mirror involved, I can't accept it as paranormal evidence. But anyway, that's my little spiel on on spirit photography tonight and taking photographs. Also, the best way to take photographs, if you want to legitimately try to take a photograph of something, put your camera on a tripod, get a camera and set it on a tripod, and even get a remote control so you have no camera movement, or put it on a timer and take each picture and get away from it. You can do that, or you can have a remote control that accesses your camera and take pictures like that. So there's absolutely no movement of the tripod. There's no movement of the camera. Now, that's still not to say there's no movement of the object you're taking a picture of. So you got to take that into consideration too. If you get a tail or a ball of light that moves, it still could be dust because it could be a wind current behind it. But your camera didn't move at that point. You've got it on a tripod. You're using a timer or remote control, and that's the best way to try to get ghost photographs and be legit, because your camera is steady, at least, as long as you got the right shutter speed and all that, it's going to be, you still got to rule out all false anomalies before you determine that something's paranormal. Spider webs will also show up in film, video, and they will play havoc on your photographs. I mean, they look weird, guys. So if you get a spider web dangling or floating, some of them will float through the air even and get photographed. That's weird. And there is a particular type of spider in our area that has reflective eyes. Like, we've taken several photographs in cemeteries and got little green dots near the bottom of the ground. We couldn't figure out what it was. So we went out there, and it was a spider, and their eyes reflect like cats. I mean, it's like animal eyes. When you hit it with a light or a flash of a camera, it reflects a green light back, which is really strange. So yeah, spiders actually, some of them have reflective eyes. I don't know if you guys know that, but I don't know what kind it is, but I'm not a spider expert. I just know their eyes reflect. But another phenomenon, and we showed a lot of people this at one of our haunted tours over in the Merriam, Indiana area. Glowworms are real. Now, if you guys know that or not, there's a worm. It's like lightning bugs or fireflies. They will glow on the ground, and people mistake that for a paranormal anomaly. They'll see this glowing thing, out there, and it's a glowworm on the ground. So, those are real. They're not just those little fake things that people talk about. But yeah, lightning bugs have been mistaken for paranormal anomalies for years. Fireflies, they'll see green balls of light fly through the air and photograph them, or, they'll see them in the distance. It's like, oh, they aren't out this time of year, but they are. So you got to be careful with bugs, with rain, with pollen, with snow. Don't take pictures in the rain, snow, fog, anything like that. It's got to be a clear night. Try to eliminate as much dust as possible. Don't take pictures near gravel roads. If a cemetery has a gravel road nearby, be extremely careful. If a car goes by, you're going to have to wait an hour for that dust to settle, because you're going to have dust in the atmosphere. A good way to see how much dust you have in the atmosphere is to get a real high-powered spotlight, 1,000 lumens or more, and shine it into the air, and you can actually see the particles floating around in the air. But, that still doesn't eliminate the possibility of there being, random particles in the air. But anyway, talking about, photography and ghost photography tonight a little bit, talking about, different things. And you guys can use a lot of stuff to film this. And a lot of times people, when they're doing video, I'm going to get into video a little bit too on film and video. IR light, obviously you can't see that with the human eye. Sometimes if it's bright enough, you see a purple tint in your IR cameras, but you can't just see that light illuminating out of there. It's invisible to the human eye. So what happens is that light bounces off of reflective surfaces and comes back into your camera and also causes false anomalies. That's why when we're investigating a place with a lot of windows or mirrors, sometimes we will take black trash bags. If we're going to set up an IR camera, we have no other choice to shoot that way toward that mirror or that window. A lot of times we will cover that window or mirror with a black trash bag so we don't get our IR reflection back into the camera. So that, there's a lot of tricks we do to try to avoid, IR light reflection, back into our cameras. Obviously, you can't put two cameras facing each other. You're going to pick up the IR off of the other camera. So, you got to stagger them or put them in front of each other so you don't get that IR light, coming right back into your camera. But orbs on video, a lot of times we'll have people in the command center, especially at Mcpike Mansion and different places where we've had our command center set up and they've never seen IR video before. And all of a sudden these things come flying into the screen. They're like, oh my gosh, there's orbs again, the big orb term. And it's not, it's dust. That's what dust looks like on the cameras too. They'll look like balls of light flying around your camera, and that's just dust particles floating through the atmosphere. And you've got to be very careful of where you set your IR cameras to in an investigation, because a lot of times people will set the camera up and put the camera over a vent or near an air vent, and you'll have all these shooting orbs all night because it's blowing dust particles and dust from the vent, the heat, the air kicking on. So you just got to look at where you set your cameras also when you're doing an investigation. But just a lot of stuff goes into play, guys, and just ruling out all the natural explanations, before you say something's paranormal. That's what I'm trying to get at here. Everybody's so like big on jumping to the whole ghost thing, jumping on the ghost train, that they try to not debunk things these days. And people get mad when we do debunk things. It's like, well, I've been at Mcpike Mansion 100 times and I think it's real or whatever. We did record some stuff there. That might be real. It might not be either. If they're saying they knocked on the door, we're going to find out how they got past it. But just try to, if you are an investigator out there watching, try to debunk things and quit jumping on the whole, this is a ghost. Because that's what I think is misleading paranormal research today. People are out there just, everything's a ghost. Everything that comes across a ghost box is a ghost. Everything that comes across, we get unexplainable communication coming across, ghost boxes and ITC devices that I can't explain, but I'm still not labeling it as a ghost because I don't know what I'm communicating with. It could be, who knows? I don't know what it is. I'm saying we do get intelligent responses coming across, but is that a ghost? I don't know. There's just some places like, then I go to some places like this Pine Lawn Manor that just blow my mind. That's why I'm so obsessed with that place, because like I'm so skeptical and I try to debunk everything and I can't debunk anything in there. And that's what drives me nuts about that place. I want to debunk it. I want to figure out what's going on. It's literally, I think about it all the time, trying to think, what could have caused this? What could have caused that? And as of right now, there's many things there I cannot explain. And I almost wish, I'm going back into Pine Lawn. I know I'm jumping all over here, guys, but I thought about trying to find like the 5. What do you guys think about this out there watching? Hold on. Oh, Tammy Joe's got a funny story. She says, I won't debunk her EVP. I can't debunk that EVP. That's crazy. She says she was, I've got to take her word for it. She says she was the only one in the cemetery, and she was in King Cemetery over close to, Dietrich area, I believe it is. We've been there a few times, and she got a man in the woods. I can't remember what it says. I think it said go or no. She'll have to answer you guys on there as to what it said. But I listened to it over at the lodge when she was there. She went to our lodge investigation. And if she was the only one there in the present, and I know that place, it's surrounded by woods, it has to be a legitimate EVP. I could not debunk the voice I heard on her recorder. So, and she wanted me to debunk it. She's like, oh, don't tell me it's real. So I was like, well, I'm sorry, Tammy, but I think it's real. So there are those occasions where, you do pick up paranormal activity, because paranormal activity is real in places like, the thing I think we got at Mcpike Manor, unless they fake the door knocks, the stuff we get at Pine Lawn Manor, or Mcpike Mansion. I think I said Mcpike Manor. Mcpike Mansion, we got the 3 knocks of the night. I believe that to be real. I can't explain it as of yet. I hope I can. And then Pine Lawn Manor, I can't explain hardly anything going on in there. That's why, going back to that though, I want to find like 5 that's really skeptical, after our haunted tour season's over, and throw them in Pine Lawn Manor. I want to find the most skeptical, non-believing people I can find, like just don't believe in anything. I don't even care if they believe in a higher power, or they're non-religious. I don't care. And they don't believe in ghosts. They don't believe in a higher power. I want to find 5 people and throw them in there like that are just the most anti-skeptical ghost people you can imagine, and put them in there for one night. And I want to see what they hear, what they see, and what they experience, and see, what their explanation is for it. And I think that'd be a cool experiment. You guys think we should try that? Put it out on the page, see if we can find like 5 people, maybe 4. I don't know. Spend the night in there. And I don't know if we should do it, if we should put them together or make them go alone. If they go alone and they think they can stay in there, then good luck to them. That's how crazy that place is. I want somebody to come in and debunk this stuff, because I can't do it. Tammy just says my husband didn't believe me at all. They said 100%. I don't know. Jake said, I'll do it alone. All right. Yeah, but you're not extremely skeptical, are you, Jake? I'm trying to find someone that just doesn't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in any of this, I want to find somebody that just is totally a non-believer and put them in there. Kelsey said, yeah, he is so skeptical. Reading the comments. Yeah, graveyards are peaceful, they said. Jake says, I want evidence. Yeah. Have you been to Pine Lawn yet, Jake? Are you guys coming on the 30th or 31st? Reading the comments, guys. Sorry, I can't remember who's been there and who hadn't. We've had so many events and people have been there. I can't keep track anymore, but I think they are scheduled if they have it. Yeah, not yet, Kelsey said. So hopefully you guys will see that then in November. They signed up for November 6th. Okay, cool. So at least you're signed up. So yeah, I want to stick Jake in there. Then if he's skeptical, that'll be a cool experiment because yeah, we'll put him in there. So, if he's skeptical, what did he think about last night? He was the one sitting by the door when it got knocked on. What's his opinion on that? Or Jake, if you're on here, what do you believe last night was actual paranormal activity that we experienced at Mcpike with the 3 knocks? I'll let him answer there, guys. But he still didn't believe it. She's saying he still didn't believe it, but I think it's a great idea, just not me. I'd be scared to death and my imagination would run wild on my own, Laura says. Good night, Jason, everybody. Hey, see you later, Greg. Thanks for tuning in. We're probably going to call it a night here in a minute anyway. Just wanted to update everybody on what went on this weekend. It's interesting. I'm honestly interested in trying to debunk it, but it was neat. Yeah, and we'll try to, Jake. I'm going to find out, if anybody knocked on that door from the staff. Are you doing a live on Halloween? Doy, I don't think we're going to go live on Halloween. We're doing our Pine Lawn investigation down there on Halloween night, but I may, just because it's Halloween, I may go live kind of a couple times throughout the night just to show you guys what's going on at our event. Maybe before the event to show you guys what's going on and maybe do one EVP session or something live during the night. But we won't go live all night on Halloween night because Pine Lawn Manor is one of those places where you can have lights out and be extremely quiet. And it's really hard to do that with the live feed going and the bright light for the camera because if we don't have that light on, you guys can't see anything. As you seen last night, probably if you watched the cellar video on Mcpike, we had the light out because they were trying to see stuff in there and you can't see anything without the camera light on. So, but we may try doing that a little bit and go live, a couple times on Halloween night. So, but speaking of Halloween night, this is our last show before Halloween. So I do want to wish everybody a happy Halloween. If you don't see or hear from me before then, be safe out there, guys. And another thing, we've got a contest we're going to do again. All you guys have to do if you're watching, I told you about this before, and it's to win a DVD, The Hanging of Elizabeth Reed, our documentary we helped with by Joe Turry. It's on Amazon Prime. If you haven't already seen it, it's like $3 if you don't have Amazon Prime. But if you have Amazon Prime, it's free. Definitely check out the Hanging Elizabeth Reed, A Ghost Story by Joe Turry. And we are going to do a little contest here. Whoever can, we're going to put your name. We've done this before for winning trips to our haunted tours. But if you guys can go and send invites to all your friends to our page and screenshot it, and send us that by message that you've done it. Doesn't matter how many friends you have or how many invites you send, but just send invites to all your friends. We'll put all your names who do that into a hat, draw your name out, and we'll actually send you an anniversary package that's got some other stuff in it. It's got a signed poster. I believe there's like a CD in there and something else. We'll send you an Elizabeth Reed package with some of our stuff from the documentary. We'll get your address and send it out to your house. So if you guys want to participate in that contest, all you got to do, invite your friends to our page, screenshot that you've done it, and send us a message saying, contest, and we'll look at it and take your name, put it in a hat. Whoever we pull out gets our Elizabeth Reed package sent to them. So thank you guys for watching. It's been fun, and hopefully we'll debunk the incident that happened at Mcpike Mansion. Maybe we won't. We'll keep you updated on all that too. And we'll see you at our next investigation, haunted tour, live talk show. Have a good night out there, everyone, and be safe.
We'll have the $5.99 steak special. What if everyone gave you the